Okay, so I actually thought I would sit down and make a video about what I said I was going to make a video about my past and my struggles with depression and anxiety and, what the hell? And everything, since I am getting ready for work and not wearing makeup and drinking coffee. And I just have time to do it right now, so let's start. Basically, my dad passed when I was 13 years old. He was an alcoholic for the majority of his life. His parents never really told him that drinking was wrong at a young age, and so he kind of just always did it. That being said, I'm gonna get emotional right now. My dad was my best friend, and losing him was a pain I've never known. I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. He really just saw the best and worst in me and took it all. Not a day goes by where I don't wish he was still here. When things get rough, I wish I could call him and talk to him again, but I can't. And the truth is that everything I do in my life, I strive for him, to make him proud, to make him happy, to be the daughter that he wished that he wanted me to be. And my entire life, my dad was just sick because he wasn't a healthy person, and alcohol didn't make it better. And a lot of my family members struggle with alcoholism just because of the way they were raised. I remember my dad being in and out of the hospital a lot for a long time. He was in the ICU when I wasn't able to visit him because I was too young. So we would prop me up on the window and I would talk to him through the screen. Because of what my dad went through with his addiction, I haven't drank or smoked my entire life. It scares me to think that I could have the same problems as him or as my other family members, and it's just not something that I'm ready to try and not be able to see and not be expecting that to happen. I'm not ready for it yet. And after he passed, I really suffered with depression and anxiety a lot. I was thrown into panic attacks a lot. Depression was definitely a bad problem. I felt dark and like I didn't really want to get out of bed in the morning. I didn't want to really be alive. Not so much suicide thoughts, but just the thoughts of like not being alive were frequent, and sometimes I still feel those thoughts. Like when I wake up in the morning, I just think, I don't want to be awake right now. I'd rather be asleep. I'd rather be unconscious. I'd rather be anywhere but here. I don't want to go through the day-by-day routine all over again. Sleeping was hard. I stayed up for days on end. Just overthinking, thinking that if I had done something, he would still be here. If I had tried harder, if I had made him stop drinking earlier, he would still be alive. But really, in the end, it wouldn't have mattered. He passed from a staph infection from the hospital. He went in because his liver was failing, and they pumped his liver, and he was getting better, and he died from the staph infection. So, really, I couldn't have done anything. Because of my dad's alcoholism, I struggle a lot with abandonment issues. I remember him and my mom fighting about it a lot. I remember my mom throwing all his stuff outside the house and then waiting for him to go get it and then closing and locking the doors. I struggle a lot with abandonment issues. When I feel as though I'm losing someone who means a lot to me, I start to panic and I kind of get thrown into like a frenzy of just like hyperventilating. I will shake physically. I'm known to blow phones up because of it. Losing people in my life really just throws me into a panic. I have panic attacks because of it. Anxiety was something I've always felt. I had trouble sleeping a lot. Even as a young child, like at the age of 8, I would just lay in bed and think like a robber's gonna come into the house and rob us, or like a murderer is going to come in and murder all of us. I would overthink to the point where I just could not sleep at all, or I would physically shake because like I would just overthink until the point where sleeping was just too much, and I thought being awake would be safer. After my dad passed, I felt depressed. I felt down and dark, and just like I didn't really want to do this anymore. But I still went to school. I went right back to school. I didn't even take, I think maybe I took like 2 or 3 days off, and I went right back to school. And I just pretended like everything was fine, like I was okay. I just think that I just thought that if I played it off like I would be okay, like people wouldn't worry about me, or they wouldn't feel bad for me. I think really feeling bad for me really just made me upset because I didn't want to be seen as not strong enough. And so I just went back to school and I pretended like everything was okay. And I remember my dad passed, I believe I was in 7th grade, and 8th grade, like on the last day of school, like the last week of school, my teacher pulled me aside, Amy, and she told me that it was okay to be sad and to cry, and it was okay to let your wall down and just be sad. And I remember I really just broke down, and she kind of like cried with me, and she was like, I didn't mean to make you so upset, like that wasn't my intention. But that's what I needed at the time, was to really just break down and like let the wall down and be sad for it and feel bad. So I'm really just thankful that that happened, that she did that, because I don't really know where I would be if not for her. And because of that, I feel like I really just have been real about my mental illness and what's happened to me ever since then. And I just am really thankful for that. I think that I have anxiety and depression. I do have anxiety and depression, but I think that because of what I have, it doesn't make me any less of a human being. If anyone ever makes you feel bad for what you struggle with, they're not worth your time or energy. It takes a lot of energy to care for yourself when you have anxiety and depression, or just depression. And if you care for someone else as much as you try to care for yourself, and they make you feel bad for it, then they're not worth your time. They're not. Don't let anyone ever make you feel like less of a human being because of what you suffer with or what you've been through. You are strong, and you will make it through this, and sometimes we all need help, whether it's medication or therapy or just to cry. We all need help, and I don't think seeking help in any way, shape, or form makes you any less of a person. I've been to 3 therapists in my life, and I've been on medicine myself, and I can tell you that it's done wonders for me. I'm actually going back to therapy right now because I'm just in a really low place in my life, and sometimes I panic when I think that this is going to be something that I have to deal with for the rest of my life. And so I went back, and it's just really helped me cope with everything. Just, you're strong. Don't let anyone think of you as less because of what you've been through, because I've been through a lot, and you know, you just have to wake up every morning with the intention of being a better person in the smallest way you can. Try for yourself, don't try for other people. to be a better person. You know, you can try and make decisions for someone else or try and make someone else happy, but you always have to put yourself first. I'm getting, like, giving advice like a mother right now. Yeah, Mama Chan, good old days. Just be happy. I hate when people tell me that because it's the most difficult thing in the world to just be happy. I wish. You're strong enough. Stronger than your battles. Don't let them consume you. Overcome them.